All right, this is something new for me, and basically a new concept because I usually do not buy overseas instruments, stuff from China, Indonesia. I just have not had good luck with any of that stuff. But this seems to be changing that trend. This is a Epiphone Jack Casady model, and I guess these are semi-hollow body, probably built, well, I don't know, it might be a full hollow body, but at any rate, this instrument caught my eye. It was in my local shop's window. They had a red one in there. I saw a couple of weeks ago when I went back today, and they had a red one and this faded Pelham blue. And tried both. Both were fine. I would have taken either of them home, but the blue is a little more my style. I'm less flash and more about just staying in the background and playing. That's kind of what most bass players should be doing anyway. But at any rate, this instrument is made in China, and I used to have a 2013 335 bass from Gibson, and that was a great bass. It was really good for doing classic rock gigs. I used it all the time, and it was relatively flexible as far as the sound, but not as impressive as this is as far as the range of tone I can get out of it and how well it works at the two extremes, sounding like a 1960s Jack Casady song, or going all the way up to a funk and slap solo. So I'm finding that the bass has incredible versatility. I like the general construction. It's better than any of the Chinese instruments I've seen in the past. They seem to be getting to that level where the Korean instruments were previously, and I guess it's getting expensive to make something in Korea now, so they've moved on to China and Indonesia. But I have to say, this is certainly well put together. Everything is aligned correctly, and the circuit and electronics sound really quite good. That was another pet peeve, is that stuff from overseas usually has junk for electronics, and this is not sounding that way in any way, shape, or form. It's got a fairly commanding presence. It's got a real even volume and tone from string to string. The pickup, single pickup, does great. You've got a lot of versatility with the pickup because you have the switch down here, which basically boosts frequencies at 3 different points. There's a 50 hertz or whatever it is, and then 250, and then a 500, which effectively is kind of going from the 500, where you're really pushing some mids, to the 250, which is pulling a little bit of them out, and then the 50, which basically is really focused more on the low end and kind of creating a dip where the mids would be. But all of them are distinctly audible. So you can really tell where you're moving with the switch. It makes a huge difference. And that is something you usually don't find. A lot of these switches, they're almost inaudible variations between the positions on them. So this works really well. The pickup is quiet. It's got punch. If I want to sound, 60s, just roll off the tone. You've got that Jack Casady sound right there, and it does it well. And like I say, for me and the band I'm wanting to use this in, we do all that stuff, Deep Purple, all that retro rock and roll stuff, and a bass like this is really perfect for that kind of music. And I thought, this will be great. I'll use it like I did my 335 bass, and I'll just do rock and roll. That'll be it. But then once I got it here, and I set it up with my strings, and set it up where I want it, I'm realizing this thing's going to be a slap monster. And then in the other position, I can get all sorts of stuff out of it. And, for me, that's great because I only have to take one bass on the gig. It kind of will do it all. So all in all, I'm finding this bass to be a lot better than I thought it would be, more versatile. And, it's not that expensive. I think you can find them for $7.99. They do not come with a case for $7.99, which is kind of a drag, but and you do have to find a fairly wide gig bag to fit these in because it's probably a 17-inch body on these. So, you may have a little struggle getting a case, but the instrument overall, though, the frets were good. I did not have to do a mill and crown on it to get the frets feeling right. The action's nice and low. Truss rod's a little on the tight side, but I think that'll relax after a day or two since I put my lighter strings on, and this had a heavier set to begin with. Really quite nice. The pots feel good. Everything's where it should be. It's got a really nice quality set of tuners on it. They're substantial feeling and work well. I like the Les Paul style inlays in the fingerboard. This is a bound rosewood fingerboard. It has rosewood binding on the side of the rosewood. The rest of it, I believe, is, it's hard to know. This could be maple. Neck is mahogany. I don't think the body's mahogany. I think that's maple. But at any rate, nicely finished. Decent paint job on it. Hardware is solid. It's got the typical old style Gibson bridge, which I have no problem with. These work well, and they're quite adjustable, and everything was built correctly so that it aligns it perfectly with the neck and the fingerboard. So, not a problem there. So all in all, this is a nice instrument and a real change for me because I normally hate anything that's not made on these shores. So I'm impressed, and this could be a real change to my concept of overseas instruments.